Welcome to the Sexual Wellness Podcast, real-life conversations with industry experts on modern sexuality and how to live a happy, healthy, turned-on life. I'm your host, Laura Allen, founder of New Zealand's leading sexual wellness store and holistic sex, love, and life coach, passionately guiding women to expand their pleasure in and outside the bedroom. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Sexual Wellness Podcast. I am so happy to have you here as always. And today I just want to dive straight in because I have so many new followers and new people in the ecosystem of Laura Allen, and I wanted to offer you guys a really simple starter kit to explain the steps to get you into this work in a healthy, happy, and pleasurable way, because I know how big it can feel. I know how big it can be when you discover a podcast or a certain pattern about yourself, or when you even first start to have the awareness that, oh my God, there is something about this sexuality piece that is really freaking big for me and I'm scared. It's scary. It's so big. I've got all these feelings and I'm excited and I'm curious and there's so much resistance and fear and I have no idea, but oh my God, I'm here for some reason. I don't know what it is. And I feel you. I feel you. And I just want to celebrate you for following that intuition and that little nugget of curiosity, because it's those little pings that we get from the universe that guide us into the life that we're meant to be living. So congratulations for listening to yourself, for honoring yourself, for putting the time aside to listen to this podcast, for showing up for yourself. This is what it's all about. Doing the things that are right for you, that make you feel good, because it's only when we start to show up for ourselves in the most exquisite way can we really start to show up for other people in the world. Okay, so I'm going to go through a little bit of a step-by-step guide on getting started with sexuality. And the first point I wanted to make is educate yourself. Knowledge is power. And if this is the first episode that you are listening to in my podcast, then amazing. And I want to encourage you to dive really, really deep. Go in and listen to a whole bunch of podcasts. Check out the blog on my website. Check out my Instagram. There is so much free available content offering all different types of perspectives, not only from my own life, but the lives and experience of my clients, my friends' clients, and in the community that I am involved in every single day. It is like an eternal tap of information that you can get exposed to. Now, I want to let you know that this is simply my perspective on this field and in this human experience, and what is right for you will resonate with you. If it doesn't feel good in your body, like if it really feels like it's a no from me, then that's okay. Your experience doesn't need to be the same as mine. Your path doesn't need to look like anybody else's path. Your femininity, your sexual expression, your sexual healing, your sexual liberation doesn't need to look like anybody else's experience. It's all about finding what works for you. Again, it's just bringing it back to self and finding out what works for you. But to do that, you need to educate yourself. So by surrounding yourself with as much information and knowledge and perspectives from various different people and tools, the better you will be able to equip yourself with a really grounded decision and opinion within what works for you best and what you want to achieve in this realm, essentially. So, like I said before, there's over 60 episodes in this podcast. There is a ton of content out there in the world of the internets, and I want to encourage you to just dive deep, get all of the information that you seek. And just a note, when you are going down the rabbit hole on the internet and in Google and stuff, a quick note on, being mindful of who you're being influenced by. When you start to consume content and transmissions from different coaches and different perspectives and different views, it's important to hear them, but it's also important to do your research about who you're learning from. Look into their life behind the scene. Is this person someone who you align with? Are they living their life in a way that feels integrity for you as well? Because if they are someone who is living in a way that is actually not on your path and not where you want to be going at all, that is totally okay. But it might be a compass for you to perhaps search for somebody else who is actually the living, breathing embodiment and example of what you do want to be calling in. Find expanders. There's a beautiful woman, her name is Lacey Phillips, and she does a lot of work in manifestation. And she talks about expanders. Okay, so that is about surrounding yourself with people. They don't need to be direct in the physical. They can be, influencers on Instagram. It could be a family member far away. It could be anyone, really. It could be somebody who's passed away, but an expander, someone who expands your mind and helps you to believe within yourself that this is something that you can do too. If they can do it, I can do it. She's doing it, I can do it too. Get what I mean? Finding those expanders is a really, really powerful tool. So educate yourself, open your mind, open your heart, and surround yourself with people who are going to influence you positively and be the living embodiment of what you're trying to call in. Okay, so the next point I want to talk to you about, just so you know, I've got 5 points here. So we're up to number 2. And that is get quiet and go inwards. This is a really big time for a lot of people who start dabbling in this space. There's so much to uncover. Like, we, for the first time in our lives, start to look at our patterning, at our life, at our psyche, at our sexuality, at our relationships, about the mistakes that we've made, about the success that we've created. And all of a sudden the veil has been lifted from our eyes, and boom, it hits us like a ton of bricks, and there's all of these messages floating around. The mind is busy, the body feels uncomfortable, and you're not quite sure what to do. There's a stuckness. Go inwards and get quiet. This is why meditation is one of my favorite tools, if not my absolute number one favorite tool of all time, to, really establishing a beautiful relationship with yourself, with that inner knowing, with your being. And so moving forward, your best tool in life, in love, in career, in navigating your sexuality, in finances, in health, the number one tool that you are going to need to guide you this whole way is your intuition, is your inner knowing. And to really tap into that, to really harness that power within you, you need to start meditating. You need to learn to be able to come out of your mind and drop into your body's wisdom. And even deeper, beyond your body's triggers and fear responses, that really deep knowing within what is right for you. That knowing that when things feel expansive and good and safe, that is a good sign in where you need to be right now. That knowing when to slow down and take a big deep breath and invite so much spaciousness into decisions when you start to get that feeling of discomfort in your body. That knowing will look after you. That knowing will guide you to exactly where you need to be. And we all know what that knowing is. And we also all know what life can start to look like when we don't listen to it. And it's okay. It's okay. I still don't listen to it sometimes. And it's perfect. But when you know, you can't unknow. And to live a life of integrity and purpose and pleasure and joy and alignment, fucking abundance, all of those like buzzwords, to actually step into that life, you need your intuition to guide you, because that is where the magic is. And it's going to ask you to, it's going to make you expand, and it's going to take you on a wild ride. But that's the fun of it. That why the fuck not? Honestly, like, what else are we here for? Seriously, why else are we on this planet? Intuition. Now, meditation, the number one tool to get in touch with your intuition. I've just released my meditation pack. It's called Juicy, and it is the most delicious pack of 7 different meditations, all designed to nurture your feminine essence. These aren't like any other meditations where you sit down and be quiet for 20 minutes on a cushion and don't think ever again. I know how hard that is for a lot of you, because if you are drawn into this space, it probably means that you are already quite embodied and highly sensitive and feel a lot inside you. So sitting still can feel really challenging. I get that. These meditations incorporate breath, sound, movement, visualization, pleasure, and fun to help you really go deep in the most delicious way. We cover everything from the classics like self-worth and self-love into really powerful pieces like mindful penetration. When was the last time, or have you ever asked for consent from your yoni, from your pussy, before being penetrated by yourself or before being penetrated by another? Powerful freaking work. Also in that meditation bundle, there is a workbook that will help you to integrate what you're getting out of the meditations even more. So yeah, that's just an offer that's there for you. You'll see the links below the podcast. You'll see it on my website, all of that stuff. So it's there and available and easy for you to get your hands on if you're feeling cold. It's so, so delicious. Okay, so the next point I want to bring to you is get some rituals going, okay? So like, you're educated, you're feeling inspired, you're feeling really curious, you're feeling ready to take some action now. Like, you are kind of like bubbling up at the, like you're bursting at the seams, and you're just like, right, okay, I know I've got to do things. What am I going to do? I've been doing the meditations, I've been educating myself, I'm ready. So you want to start implementing some tools. You want to start gathering tools, rituals, practices that you can do to further integrate and embody what it is that you are learning. Integrated learning, okay? That's what it's all about, because you can read all the books, you can listen to all the podcasts, you can get all the coaching you want, but if you're not actually integrating what it is that you're learning, then it's completely pointless in a way. Integration is the action, and the doing is the knowing. Sometimes it's not the meditation itself or the ritual itself that brings you the results. Sometimes I sit down for 20 minutes and have a think fest for the entire duration. But that's not the point. It's not the direct results from the practice. It's the fact that you sat down and did it anyway that will get you the results. Because like I said earlier in this podcast, it's about showing up for you. And it's about how when we show up for ourselves in this way, that's when we really start to light up. That's when we go out into the world feeling healthy, confident, turned on, and in love with ourselves. It's because we're doing the things. We're doing the things that make us feel good. So when it comes to equipping yourself with tools, go onto my website. There's a free ebook. It's called the Sensual Essentials ebook. There's all sorts of little rituals in there. There's a little self-love menu that you can download. Again, in my podcast, there are tons of episodes about self-pleasure rituals, how you can get the most out of your self-pleasure practice. There's also an offer, a breast massage ritual bundle on my website as well. It's called Heart Space, and it's all about breast massage, movement, and breath, and how you can actually physically, practically use these embodied pleasure practices to fuel your day with rocket bliss fuel. Make the space in the morning for your practice. Carve out the time and make it happen, because integration is everything. And like I said before, the doing is the knowing. So go onto my website, download that workbook, get some rituals going, listen to those episodes on my podcast, and do the thing. So the next point is, this is number 4, is get support. Definitely get support, because we all need it, and you do not need to do this alone. I have a Facebook group. It's called the Pleasure Posse. Again, the links will be everywhere around this podcast, so you can find it, or just search for it on Facebook, the Pleasure Posse. And just immerse yourself with like-minded women who are all on the journey. You can ask questions in there. You can get inspired in there. I mean, there's plenty of different Facebooks in this kind of realm. There's plenty of different groups that you can join and meet like-minded people if you aren't exposed to them in your, close circle of friends at the moment. It's really important that you, again, start to surround yourself with expanders and find people and like-minded people that you can talk to. People who are going through similar things, people who are learning like you, people who are growing like you, because that will keep you inspired and continue to influence you to keep going. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And it is such a powerful self-care and support tool to set yourself up to win by surrounding yourself with like-minded people who are going to help you stay on track. You can also get coaching. You can join all sorts of group programs. There's so much support out there. You can reach out to me and I can give you some guidance on where to go next. There's always options. Keep your eyes open, keep your heart open, and know that you don't ever have to do things alone. So the final piece that I wanted to bring up to you is create space. Pleasure exists in spaciousness. We live in a world where we are so damn busy. Why is it that as adults we use the word busy as a status symbol? We wear busy like a badge of honor, and it drives me crazy. There is nothing sexy about being busy. Being proactive, productive, making aligned action choices, going after what you want, yes, being in purpose and doing the things, yes. But being stressed, overworked, and busy, especially with things that you don't even really want to do, no. Busy is simply a mindset. You can achieve just as much, if not more, and feel so spacious. And I am all about living a life that is grounded in the deepest sense of pleasure. My motto is ease and grace. One of my core values is harmony. These things are so essential for me. They're essential for my health, my physical health, my mental health, my sexual health, all of it. And nothing will get in the way of me staying true to those values within me. So, how to do that? Create space. Look at your schedule. Cull things that you don't want to do. Just get rid of it. Just stop doing them. Learn about boundaries. Learn about setting yourself out. Learn about saying no. Learn how to say no. Create spaces in your schedule that are white and that allow you to flow. Create a life that allows you to be more in your feminine essence. It's not about being one or the other, because we can, play a big game in this world. We can wear red lipstick and high heels and be deeply connected to consciousness and to our bodies and to our femininity. We can have it all, okay? That saying, it's like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. It's a load of bullshit. It is such bullshit. You can have your cake and eat it too. You can have all of the fucking cakes and eat them all at once if you want to. But what matters the most is that you're doing it in a way that feels good for you. So create white space in your calendar. Always be asking yourself, how can I bring more pleasure into this moment? Okay, look, if you hate your job, but you're not going to quit right now because you've got things to do and it's a process. I'm not saying that you should quit your job if you hate it, by the way. That's not like advice that I'm giving you right now, but I'm giving you an example where it's just like, if you're doing things that you feel that you don't always feel lit up to do, it's like, I don't always love doing my accounting, right? But it's like, how can I bring pleasure into this moment? I can light candles, I can light the fire, I can make myself the most delicious smoothie. I can have a shower and get dressed up. I can do all of these things to make myself feel super, super good while I'm doing it. I can create an environment and an atmosphere that feels so, so good. I can light myself up so that everything that I do feels good because I'm radiating with that light from within. And that light essentially like washes over my accounting and my taxes like a big torch of love bliss. I just made that up on the spot, but you get what I'm saying. Do you first. Get into pleasure first. Create the space. Create a pleasure practice. And what that means is do anything. Go out of your way to get your mind on your side. So whether that is yoga, breast massage, self-pleasure practice, journaling, or all of the above. I mean, there's a million different ways that you can do a pleasure practice in the morning. Gratitude, another really powerful thing. Mindset-based tools, as well as embodied tools, will have massive results in your life. Do those things, get your mind on your side first, because what you believe is what you'll achieve. Mindset is everything. So when you create this space for yourself and fuel yourself with all of that affirmations, pleasure practices, all of the stuff that makes you feel good, no matter what that looks like for you specifically, because it's different for everybody, like I said earlier, then you're setting yourself up to win. And that's what we want here. Okay? I want you to win. I want you to want yourself to win. And I want you to do the things that you need to do to win. And you can't do them if you're too busy. So create the space. That's it from me, guys. That's the end of this podcast. I hope you're feeling inspired. And I am so honored to have you here. If you've got any questions, if you've got any comments or anything you'd like to add, please send them my way. You can comment on this blog post, on this Instagram post, anything, all of the things. You can blah, 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 blah. You know them all. You know the drill by now. And like I said, reach out if you've got anything that you want to share. And thank you so much for listening. And I'll be back with another episode soon. If you enjoyed this episode, hit like and subscribe or share it with someone who you feel could benefit from hearing it too. My mission is to bring healthy sexuality to the mainstream, so be sure to leave your 5-star review on your favorite podcasting app, because that way this content can land in the ears of those who need it the most. If you're looking for more resources on how to live a turned-on life, check out my website at www.laura-allen.com, where you'll find events, coursework, free downloadable workbooks, as well as my coaching packages. And lastly, I want to thank you for taking the time to prioritize yourself in this exquisite way, because when we do, that's when we can really start to show up for the rest of the world. And until next time, thank you so much for listening, and I'll be back with another episode soon.